Hey everyone, Emily here and welcome to my kitchen. My parents are coming to town in just about a day and I want to get some food prepped for them so they don't have to worry about cooking for every meal. Now, one of the things that my mom does when I come home is put together a breakfast casserole, and it's a pretty classic one with eggs, sausage, cheddar, that kind of thing. So I'm going to do the same thing for them, but put my own spin on the recipe. I'm going to be making a chili relleno breakfast casserole, and it's super simple with canned green chilies being the main ingredient. I'll show you how to put this together. Let's get started. The base of this breakfast casserole is going to be about 6 slices of white bread chopped into cubes. Now, you don't have to wait for this to go stale. It is just a really good way to use up maybe some bread that you have lying around. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I have about maybe a third of a loaf here. I'm going to put this down on my cutting board and give it a slice across into little strips and then turn that into cubes. Once you have this all chopped up into cubes, you'll set this aside and we're going to start prepping our casserole dish. Put a little bit of oil directly into the casserole dish and spread that around. If you have a cooking spray, you could also use that. You just want to make sure every surface is coated. I'm also going to oil up a tiny casserole dish for myself so I can test this out without cutting into my parents' egg bake. Once you have your pan coated in oil, add your cubed bread directly into the pan. In this case, it is important to use some form of white bread, so either plain white sandwich bread or sourdough. The texture just doesn't come out the same if you use wheat bread. Set the casserole dish aside for now, and we'll get started on our egg mixture. Into a bowl, I'm going to crack 6 eggs. I'll do an extra one for my own mini egg bake. Here's 7 eggs, and I only have 1 left in the carton, so I'll go ahead and use that last one too. Now, if you're using 6 eggs, you'll want to add in about 2 cups of milk. Since I've added in 2 extra, I'm just going to add in about a 1/4 cup extra milk. Pour that directly into your eggs, and then I'll season that with salt and pepper. Maybe about a 1/2 teaspoon salt and a generous amount of pepper. And now we're going to get to that chili relleno flavor. I'm going to add in quite a bit of green chili. I'm going to use the hot diced green chili because I like it spicy, so does my family. If you would like it a little bit more mild, just use mild green chilies. I have 3 4-ounce cans of green chili. I'm going to add 2 of them directly into the egg mixture and save the other one for later. Finally, I'm going to add in about a cup of shredded white cheese. You can use whatever you prefer. Pepper jack would go great in here. Just toss that in, and then reserve at least a 1/2 cup to maybe 3/4 cup to go on the top later on. Now that we have everything combined, just give this a good whisk. A breakfast egg bake is one of the easiest things you can put together when you have guests in town. This keeps amazing in the fridge. You can make it about 24 hours in advance without baking it, and then when your guests get here, you can bake it fresh for them. And then from there, this is gonna keep for a couple of days in the fridge, so they have breakfast for at least a few days while they're here. Once your mixture is well combined, we're going to bring our casserole dish over and pour everything right over the top. Mix this around with a spatula to make sure everything gets combined and is evenly distributed. As this sits, the bread is going to soak up that egg mixture and get nice and plump. We have a remaining can of green chili, and I'm just going to dot this over the top. Make sure every bite gets plenty of green chili. If you want to add some meat to this, a great idea would be to cook up some chorizo, and you would just add that to the pan when you add in your bread. Finally, we're going to sprinkle on a nice layer of cheese right over the top. Keep in mind, there's already cheese in the mixture, so don't go overboard, or do if you really like cheese. And that's all there is to it. You want to make sure you let this rest for at least 30 minutes before you put it into the oven. That's going to allow the bread to soak up all of that egg mixture. Or you can let it sit in the fridge covered for up to 24 hours before you bake it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do with my parents' egg bake. I'm going to let my mini casserole sit on the counter here for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to put that into a 350-degree oven. If you're baking the full-size casserole, that's going to take about 40 to 45 minutes. I'll check on this one after 20. My breakfast bake has come out of the oven, and I'm just topping it with a little bit of pico de gallo that I made from some tomatoes in my garden, and this is ready to serve. 25 minutes was perfect for my mini bake, but if you're doing a whole casserole dish, it's going to take about 40 to 45 minutes. All right, let's give this a try. I'll get a nice little bite here with some pico de gallo, and let's see how it tastes. This came out exactly how I hoped it would. All the flavors work really well here, tastes very similar to a chili relleno, and I think it's a nice twist on a classic breakfast bake. I'll definitely be making this again, and I think my parents are really gonna like it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button and hit subscribe so you can get notified every time I post. If you try this recipe, let me know how you like it in the comment section down below. You can find the full recipe, as always, in the description box, along with links to all my social media pages and my Amazon page where you can find all of my cooking favorites. I hope to see you back here next time.